Do not give up on your legal status. Many people fail to respond to RFE or file an application before the deadline. This is why we offer a strategy session for 15 minutes at no cost to you. Not everyone qualifies. First, you need to speak with our CARES team. We receive many requests, so we recommend you answer a few questions on our website, greencardguys.com. Our mission is to help people live and work in America legally. Go ahead and subscribe below and follow and share. Talk to you soon. All right, what's up, y'all? How y'all doing? Hope y'all doing well. Hope you can hear me. If you can't hear me, let me know. I was just on another attorney show, just fixing different audio. All right, so my name is John Ting. I practice immigration law in the United States, helping you solve your immigration problem. So welcome to the show here. If you're just now joining from Luis Victoria's show, thank you so much. You can go ahead and subscribe down below if you don't mind, and follow if you're on TikTok or Instagram or Facebook. So here, today's topic on our show here, I was just on attorney Luis Victoria's show, talking about mandamus case delays, why it's important for you to consider it, okay, even if you think it's too early, okay? But on this show today at greencardguys.tv, this is about notice of intent to deny. My voice is already getting a little raspy here, so please bear with me today. So today's topic is notice of intent to deny, what you need to know about it. You know, you might not be in a situation where you have received a notice of intent to deny, but you still need to know about it, okay? As whether or not you have an attorney, okay, you still need to know about this, because let's say an example, you have an attorney, you've hired them, and you get an NOID letter in the mail, and your attorney hasn't invited you to a meeting, which we do at Ting Law Group. As soon as we get this letter or RFE, we invite you to a meeting. And if you don't schedule something in a week, we schedule it for you, because we don't want a situation someone says, oh, I didn't see the email, which I understand. There's so many emails. Who likes email? Who likes managing email? Pretty sure you don't. If you don't like email, drop a number 1 in the comments, okay? So, which, by the way, I can share with you software that we use to make it easier so we can respond to you faster, okay? So here's the deal though. NOID, notice of intent to deny. You absolutely want to avoid this situation in the first place, which is why you would want to authorize our legal team, Ting Law Group, okay? But in this situation, your budget is a little bit lower than you would want. Completely understandable. Maybe you've hired another attorney or you filed the case yourself. But if you receive this in the mail, you need to take action ASAP. You need to talk to a law firm, okay? Not just any law firm, okay? You need to talk to an immigration law firm. I just don't recommend hiring one of those law firms that's like, they handle this, ABC, different type of practice areas, because it's just, even the bigger immigration law firms only handle immigration. So it's just a lot to know in one practice area. More power to those other attorneys. I wish them the best. But for us, we only practice immigration law. And I think you would probably want that focus, that specialty from your legal team anyway. So, give you a quick summary of NOID. Is notice of intent to deny. It's basically you have 30 days to respond to USCIS, okay? If you don't respond before the deadline, USCIS needs to receive the package before the deadline in mail, okay? Before the deadline. You can't just mail it on the 30th day. Okay, I don't recommend that. If they don't receive it in time, you're going to receive a letter that says denied. You do not want that situation to happen for you when you could have just freaking put it on the calendar and hired an attorney, okay? And I get it. Everyone's budget is different. But look, you've already spent the money for the USCIS fees, okay? Probably more money than you want to pay. They just increased it in April this year. But this is your legal status we're talking about. For us, if you send us a note, you share a letter NOID, and we could just tell in the communication with you that, hate to say this, but it's like, it's not a real marriage, or it's pretty shaky. then we're not even going to offer you a quote. Okay. So we're different than many other law firms. Look, if you're like separated from your spouse, like literally separated, different, we've had clients actually recently just approved and they were living separately for several years. So it can work, but just depending on the vibe in the meeting, right? We would just we would feel bad. We'll feel bad that you hire us for NOID, and but it looks like it's a fake marriage, basically, just based on conversation. We don't even have to know you that well, and that's how we can detect your lies. Okay, so and I totally get it. There's some of y'all out there that may already have resident status, may already be a citizen, and you did it the wrong way and somehow passed through. Congrats to you, but please, everyone else that hasn't filed that kind of case, you want to find the right person, okay? The right match. Take a quick sponsor break here. Actually, we don't have any sponsors, but if you don't mind, if you're interested in our services, because I go ahead and share this because people ask, if you're interested in our services, you need to take a moment to really think about this. Questions. Questions to ask our team or any other attorney. But if you're considering our team, it's our pleasure to assist you. Okay, go to the follow button right there on respective channel, subscribe down in the subscription box. There is a link to schedule a meeting. You're going to be the first meeting. Well, first, you got to fill out, just answer a couple questions because it's going to speed up the process for you. But also, you have to pay this amount. Okay, it's a reservation fee. It is not refundable, just to be upfront. It's a reservation fee. It's less than a cup of coffee at Starbucks. Isn't that wild? You're paying us less than Starbucks. Just anyway. So apparently that's trending on TikTok, by the way, that complaint. After that, you can self-schedule. We make it so easy for y'all. You can self-schedule a meeting to speak with one of our trained client care specialists. Okay. It's not with an attorney, just to be upfront. They're not attorneys. However, they are trained pretty much like attorneys to understand the law, especially, of course, with immigration. Um, so they can understand how to guide you. Okay. They're not your lawyers, but Ting Law Group, we do have lawyers. If you have legal questions, you have to be part of our team. You have to authorize us as a client, and we have an onboard meeting for you as a client, okay, to answer those legal questions. But for the most part, our client care specialist can guide you, send you the free guide, send you information, and share more about how we do things here. There's a reason, folks, that we have over 300 five-star reviews in two different locations, okay, combined, okay? So take a look at our reviews. We do have a Google profile. We have a physical office in Houston, Texas. All right, take a look at those reviews and really consider, just like if you're hiring for a plumber or any other service, take a look at the reviews. Now, the restaurant reviews are they're a little bit wacky, but for professionals, you really need to read the reviews. Now, with all that being said, Notice of Intent Deny, or RFE. USCIS has a discretion to send this to you, okay? Even before an interview, or you might not have an interview. But typically, if you get an NOID, you would have an interview first, and then they send you NID. But either way, there's no right or wrong for USCIS in that sense, okay? But in general, still in 2024, there's a trend to have the cases, marriage cases in the United States, for the interview to be waived. Okay, that's a great thing. However, don't just because there's a trend for that doesn't mean that if you do have an interview letter in the mail, doesn't mean it's a negative thing. Okay, we're here to help you. Okay, even if it's tips on a live show. By the way, if you haven't done it already, go ahead and follow right here. Give it a follow, okay? Even if you don't have time to fill out the form right now, go ahead and give it a follow and subscribe down below on YouTube. Folks, if we really appreciate it. I myself and my team really spend a lot of time on these live shows, and we appreciate your time on a live show. So we'll try to do our best to answer your questions. Here, I will get to it very soon, just wrapping up this topic. But if you don't mind, just tapping the screen a bit, like 5, 10 times. Give it a like or follow down below, or just what do you call it? Thumbs up on YouTube and Facebook, and share our channel, because not that I like vanity metrics or measurement, but it does help grow our channel a bit more. As far as I'm told by these marketing people, So greatly appreciate it. Um, Now, look, folks, if you don't like me, just go to the next feed, but scroll up. But good thing there's no hate symbol here. So, but if you like our channel, the way I share information, I do try to go rapid fire. So I apologize if it's too fast for you. If you want legal answers to your legal questions and you want it like a slower pace, we do offer a consultation, a strategy session for you. It is 3 digits, okay? Now, if you're not interested in our services, we do have it for 3 digits. It starts with the number 1. I can't say it out loud, the whole fee, because, this particular app banned me for 5 minutes when I said something about money. Um, so it is 3 digits. Start with the number 1. That's if you're not interested in our services, okay? You just have questions. I completely get it. Maybe you want a second opinion and you have an attorney right now. Completely get it. Um, it's kind of like asking, I guess it could be like kind of like asking your friend for advice or your family member advice about your significant other. You can kind of think of it like that. Or like if you're going for freaking surgery, you need a second opinion. I recommend that for medical. Always get a second opinion for medical. My goodness. There's so many negative or misdiagnoses for medical. So this is your life at stake, medical or immigration status. You need to get a second opinion. Okay. We don't we have no hard feelings if you get a second opinion from us or after us. Um, so look here. If you do want a strategy session where you're not interested in our services, it's all good, all gravy. Go to the link, okay, in the respective channel. There should be an option to for paid you know what? We're gonna have to add it. I don't think it's there, but if you call in and ask for a paid consultation, they'll get you scheduled. Okay, so I just want to be upfront about the different scenarios. All right, so let me share my screen on YouTube and Facebook here. Um, Share screen. I'll definitely get to your questions soon. Okay. Let me make this a little larger. If you're on TikTok or Instagram and you're trying to figure out what I'm sharing, you could have, and if you're near a computer, you can have it open on your other screen here. Go to greencardguys.tv. It'll take you to the YouTube channel. Okay. On Instagram, I don't know why it's pausing due to connection issues. So I'm just going to go ahead and not pay attention to the Instagram. They got some issues. They need to fix some stuff. By the way, how's my skin? How's my skin on TikTok? Just playing around with this filter here. It's kind of crazy. I need to find the one that brightens the teeth. I need to get some work done via TikTok on my teeth. Um, Sorry, YouTube and Facebook. You get the real me on that. But this is not a robot. This is real. This is John Ting. Okay, here to answer your questions. All right, so I'm sharing my screen on YouTube and Facebook. Let me just scroll up this section here. There's a section here about. So what I'm looking at, what I'm sharing at with y'all is the policy manual for USCIS. Appreciate it, Clarky. Um, this is what the USCIS officers, this is basically their training manual. Thank God it's public and we can use it as well. Why not? US government is supposed to be public with their documents. So from time to time, we may have to ask for it in the process called FOIA, Freedom of Information Act. But here it goes, okay? Today's topic is about NOID. Let me see if I can get to that stuff section. Okay. This is what they're supposed to tell you. Okay. I'm highlighting right here. NOID should, not must, right? The officer should identify the reasons for the intended denial. They should give you an idea, essentially, a reason of why they're thinking to deny you. So notice what intent to deny does not mean, I should have said this in the beginning, does not mean that you are denied. It just means they're thinking right now to deny you and then giving you one chance, one opportunity. It feels like a song. Is that a rap song? One shot, one opportunity to resurrect your case, to provide them more evidence about your case and why you're eligible. Okay. So let me share my screen again. I think that's an Eminem song. Anyway, the NOID should also explain the nature of the adverse information, if anything, which I would think there's got to be something since they're sending this notice to you. Number 3, it says identify that any missing evidence specifically required by applicable statute, regulation, or form instructions. Get this, folks. Sometimes they don't tell you specifically, especially when they send you with the denial letter, and they might skip this NOID. In the denial letter, with the 485, we've seen many times when people ask us to review it. We're happy to do that for you, and we ask you, of course, do you know why you're denied? And truly, in fact, you don't know because it says, oh, you're denied, you're here illegally, you need to leave the USA. And you're like probably freaking out because it's pretty straightforward what they're saying on the letter. But the 485 denial doesn't tell you specifically. Many times it doesn't tell you. So, based on conversation with you in a strategy meeting, we can figure that out, like backtracking. And you even might have an idea what it could be, right? Based on what you have sent in before. But that's why we verify in a strategy session. All right. If you appreciate the way I just explained that, please go ahead and give it a follow, a like, smash the like button, and just tap the screen for like 10 seconds if you don't mind. All right. So let me share my screen again on TikTok and Facebook. I wish I could do that on TikTok at least. But anyway, it does say here you have 30 days deadline to get this done. As it's not necessarily the date you receive it. I know that is annoying, but it's a date on the from the letter. 30 days from the date on the letter. So USPS could be slow to deliver that notice. So if you have an online account, they should with My USCIS. There's the one benefit of the My USCIS account. Okay, at least the one benefit. They're supposed to, as far as I know, share the NOID and the RFE in the online account. If they don't, let us know because we can give feedback through our AILA national organization. I'm just going to go ahead and end the live show on Instagram. It sucks. If you all have Instagram and do the live show there, let me know how it is for you. But our experience is just wacky. Let's see here. Okay, so back to the shared screen here. There's a lot of things to share about it here on the screen. Interesting. Actually, I didn't know this part. If you're outside the US, it gives you 14 more days to mail it in. But I don't know. There's very few scenarios where you could be outside the US. Anyway, so look, folks, if they're in an NOID or RFE, if they're especially an NOID, if they're asking for specific documents for NOID, you need to provide them. If you don't have the document, like RFE, I know they ask, the very first one is like, an example they give you is like, if you have any children, provide us a birth certificate. No shit, Sherlock, of course. But not everyone has children. I mean, I know it's been tough for a lot of people, miscarriages, pregnancy complications, but USCIS doesn't give a F, okay? So it's like really ridiculous. It's like almost insensitive, right? That they're even asking for that. Like, of course I would give the birth certificate if we had kids. Come on. So, anyways, off my rant. Let me share the screen again. It says here within the time frame specified, the benefit requester, which would be you, may respond to an RFE or NOID in one of three ways: submit a complete response containing all requested information, or submit a partial response, which is considered a request for a decision on the record, or withdraw the application or petition. Where really the fourth one is no response at all, which of course I highly recommend you respond with something, okay? Even if it's just one letter. For us attorneys, we call it a cover letter explaining the situation. Even if it was like option 2 that I just shared, submit a partial response. Tell them why you can't get the other documents. Let's say they didn't essentially believe in your birth certificate or marriage certificate or divorce certificate from the prior spouse. You need to give them more information on why, on your efforts to get that particular document from the specific authority that Department of Homeland Security or Department of State requires. Okay, so even if your application is with USCIS, the Department of State has a chart for each country. They call it reciprocity chart. Basically, whichever document they're asking for, they have a list of different scenarios based on that country, because of, in every country they call it something different. Okay, even in Nigeria, I know USCIS gives Nigerians lot of a lot of hard time. Okay, many times. So we do have a lot of people from Nigeria contact us because we recognize the situation, and of course other countries as well. But specific documents that that USCIS does not, basically they don't accept, they don't appreciate it. Um, so they think it's fake. So in some scenarios they give you an opportunity to get it, but if you're depending on another lawyer or family member to get that specific document in your country, the deadline might pass by the time your family member or attorney in that country can get it for you. And don't let USCIS assume that you're not doing anything to get that document. You need to let them know. So these tips right here, I hope are helpful to you, especially if you don't have an attorney. But that's what we encourage. We go even further and ask our clients. We can draft it for the client, right? We prepare that letter, the affidavit, and get it signed by notary or acknowledge paternity and perjury. That we explain essentially the steps you've taken, because we don't want USCIS to deny your application, spent those thousands of dollars, and then realistically they didn't know that you were trying. We just want to let USCIS know that you've been trying to get these documents. Okay, so I there's so much to share on about this, but I see some people have dropped off here about this topic, so I'm going to go ahead and answer some questions. Let me get to it. All right. Let's see. Let me see how far up I can scroll to the first question. Thank you so much for the likes and sharing the channel. Greatly appreciate it. If you're just now joining, my name is John Ting. I practice immigration law in the United States, helping people with their legal status to secure their legal status to live and work in America legally. All right. So, someone on TikTok, the first comment I see here: how safe is post-conviction relief for accessory on Ciudad Juarez? I'm not sure specifically about Ciudad Juarez. I mean, maybe you mean the embassy for there. Um, this example, unfortunately, I have a lot. I would have a lot of follow-up questions, and I can't tell if you actually were able to get your crime changed because through post-conviction relief. So I don't really know how to answer that question. How safe, without knowing the details of the document. Okay. Let's see here. Hey, Nelly, you tried reaching out to me, but you guess you're in jail? TikTok jail? Okay, so Nelly, if you're not able to send a DM because maybe for some reason TikTok won't let you, let me see if I can follow you. Okay, if I do the ad symbol. Okay, I'm gonna put our phone number here. Maybe then contact us. Let me see if I can remember the number. I think that's the number. We got so many numbers depending on the channel. Okay, there we go. All right, I just sent you the phone number. Anyone else can use that same phone number. By the way, on TikTok, it does tend to filter some of the comments. They're trying to do more than Facebook or other, even LinkedIn. They hide some comments, but of course, everything here is about immigration. So I don't know what the concern is. All right, I'm gonna see Cowboy on TikTok. USCIS app says your case is ready for interview, but you had one 3 months ago. Yeah, you had an interview 3 months ago. Cowboy and anyone else in this situation, isn't that wild? You had an interview 3 months ago, and the online status says your case is ready for interview. This is a prime example that USCIS does not have their shit together. Okay, excuse my French for anyone that doesn't curse. I try to limit it, but when it comes to immigration, I curse a lot. Okay, because it's just backwards, and so that's why, like, for anyone that's like, but my USCIS account says 2 weeks or 3 months. You just through these examples of their tech, their website, it's so inaccurate. It's ridiculous. so hope so what was it, Cowboy? Cowboy, if it's been how long you said 3 months ago, if it gets to at least 6 months, I mean you can download our free guide, go to the link above for a mandamus. We have a free guide about that on that link there on our website, our formal basic general website, not basic, greencardguides.com. It does have a lot of different guides on there, but the best thing to do is just go ahead and request a webinar topic, and then we can share more information there. It'll be exclusive invite for those who are interested in a webinar topic, and we're gonna have it to where it's gonna automatically send you a free guide. Okay. Let's see here. Thank you so much for the questions. Thanks for your trust. Nelly, I see you're asking for assistance for your mother. She needs help. Absolutely. If you can't DM, then give us a call for anyone else. So for some reason on TikTok jail. All right, DiCaprio Stanley. Is there any way to speed up your case at USCIS? So yes, I mean you could try the expedite request on USCIS website. Emma, the website chat is named Emma. I do really think it's a real person on the other side. So to save you time, you could, if you don't want to do Emma, the website chat, man, you might be on the phone for like 30 minutes. And even just to bypass the bot can be very difficult. It's like a stealth defense force that USCIS has put for the hotline. Isn't that wild? It's not really a customer service agent in the beginning. It's like trying to block you. It's ridiculous. But yeah, if that doesn't work though, okay, for the expedite request, whether for DiCaprio, Stanley, for anyone else, you really need to contact us. And that's why go ahead and in the particular link, okay, on TikTok, you can go to the Zap link or YouTube and Facebook. It should be in the description box. ZAP, you know that's legit. Then you go to webinar request and select case delay or mandamus. And you'll learn more about it, okay? Because here in the live show, it's just everything's quick. All right, let me go to the top here. Test Bond 007. Sorry, sometimes I don't respond to all your questions or comments because I don't know if it's a question. But this one, can a kid file for 601A waiver if she overstayed and now found a John? I don't even mean JON. EB3 unskilled based on hardship to a U.S. born kid. I think what you're really trying to ask is as a child, as a U.S. citizen, a qualifying relative. And unfortunately, no, not for 601A. It is for 601A for different reasons. But unfortunately, U.S. citizen or resident child is not a qualifying relative for 601A. But a qualifying relative for that form is a parent or a spouse who is a U.S. citizen or resident. Thank you for asking. Hey, Willow's bracelets. I remember you from Luis' channel. Yeah, prior date April 2017, a 601A approved. September 2023, NVC waiting December 2023. Is it normal? Yeah, it is normal right now. It's been about 6 months, 6 to 7 months for you. So it was across the world in that sense. So just to make sure though that you received, I know it was really quick on Luis's channel, but want to make sure when people ask us this question, like, should I keep waiting? Some of you, unfortunately, have been waiting for an interview, but you didn't submit the documents, upload the documents to the CEAC portal with the State Department. So hopefully you've done that. And in addition to that, actually received an email saying essentially from National Visa Center that you've been documentarily complete. Online, if you Google search and whatnot, people call it documentarily qualified. This NVC may have changed how they call it, but make sure you have that email from them. And that's when you truly know that, okay, your case is ready for the next step. Because I would hate for you to wait 3 months, 6 months, and a person did not actually complete those steps, okay, to upload those documents. All right, let's see here. Sharaf, nice to see you. How are you? Okay, good deal, Willows. But yeah, if anyone's interested, we have a workflow. Like if you're interested in our services, and maybe you don't know if we can serve you like a certain service, essentially, if we accept your case. But if you're just interested in general, you go click the link down below, Zap, the Zap link, ZAP, and our trained client care specialist will let you know. Okay. I I train them actually to not waste your time. That if they're able to see it in the notes, that it's most likely a situation we don't accept. Like we have an automatic email that sends it after you complete our form. Automatic email tells you the different kind of cases that we don't accept, like asylum, humanitarian parole. But we do accept asylum cases when you want to file a lawsuit. Okay, when you've been waiting 4 years for the interview. All right. And we can, anything we don't offer specifically, we're happy to refer you to other lawyers. Okay. Um, let's see here. Now to hear I love you 365, great name on TikTok. Hey John, oh, I didn't even say my own name. Conditional green card expires in 2 weeks. Can you still travel and return before it expires? Well, first, congratulations on having your status in general. Okay. What you want to do is remove those conditions, of course, if you haven't done that already. And when you remove those conditions, you're going to receive a receipt notice, and it should be extending you automatically for 48 months. That's 4 years. Isn't that wild? It's a good and bad thing. In this situation, for travel purposes, is a good thing. Okay. But what I recommend, bad thing in the sense that USCIS has acknowledged that they could potentially take 4 years on your case. That's ridiculous. But now back to the travel question. I recommend you, even though well, hopefully you have that automatic or the automatic extension notice, receipt notice, so 751. If it were me, okay, and I'm going to travel abroad, I want to have an info pass appointment. You have to call that 1-800 number, okay, 1-800-375-5283. Don't ask me how I remember this stuff. It's probably because I call them all the time for our clients, okay? But you call them, ask for info pass. You're gonna have to go through the freaking bot, of course. So just say some magic words like info pass, 551 stamp. That's what you're asking for, okay? Because preferably you have a stamp in your passport, and they want some details, and you might be able to do that in the website chat. You can try it through Emma, okay? I recommend that. Okay, let's see. Jim, you filed VAWA 2 months earlier than your ex-husband. Then your ex-husband got his LPR, but before 2 years since divorce. Do I see any problem here? It's a little bit difficult for me to understand your question. I think I have an idea. I So you were sponsored by your spouse? Did your ex-spouse file for you, and then you filed for VAWA, and then he got his LPR? That's why it's a little interesting. Like, who sponsored you originally? Are you even eligible for VAWA if he didn't have LPR status before? That's what I want to make sure, because I don't want to assume. So, Jim, it sounds like this, or whoever you are, Jim, on YouTube, it sounds like a good idea to schedule a paid consultation, because I don't know quite yet if you need our services. But if you're not sure if you need our services, then that's more of the paid consultation, the 3 digits. All right, Cody, your sister applied for the I-130 for her parents, and while she has N565 replacement of citizenship pending, can this be a problem? No, not necessarily. If she already has a copy of her certificate, I hope so, then she could have used that as evidence with the I-130. With anyone interested in filing a case on their own, you do not, absolutely do not provide the original document or the one certified, okay? You provide them a photocopy, okay? So, Coda, I'm assuming that your sister provided a photocopy of proof that she's a citizen. Empire, how long does a FOIA take? FOIA is Freedom of Information Act. How long does it take with Department of State? We don't get many of those requests. We get most of them from USCIS. And with Department of State, from our experience, it can take 6 months to a year. They just don't process these that often. But hey, if it gets it sooner to you, let us know in the comments. Come on back. Let us know in the community. But you definitely, if you know you need a FOIA from Department of State, maybe because of prior visa application or whatnot, do that as soon as possible. Don't sit on it, because we know it takes a long time. All right, let's see here. Thanks for the follow, folks, and subscribing. Greatly appreciated. If you don't mind, if you appreciate the way we share information, especially if you're just now joining now, or if you just weren't sure to earlier, go ahead and tap the screen on this one right here. Tap it for like 10 seconds if you don't mind. Go ahead and share the channel to your buddy. And then if you're interested in a consultation, a webinar, go to the link. Okay, go to the link and you'll find those options. Jesse, you're 26, your mom is American, but you're not sure what form to file. Okay, so you're 26, your mom's American, U.S. citizen. It's the I-130. Okay, now I hope that you're outside America because if you're in the U.S., okay, this is what we call in general. This is what we call a family preference category. Okay, if you're in the U.S., that's fine. If you have non-immigrant status now, maybe well you're 26, so maybe not F1, but maybe like O1, H1B, then that's fine. O1, but if you're here, you overstayed your visa. Not all is lost, but it does make it a little bit difficult. Maybe not difficult, more of a process for you. Additional steps is a family preference. So eventually, after your petition is approved, you need to file a 601A application if you're in the US and you overstayed your visa. Okay. Or if you're here in the US, you enter without a visa, you need to file 601A, and it can only be filed after the petition's approved. So it's a lot of information. Is a good example of going and requesting, fill out the short form for a webinar, and just there's a drop down menu of the different topics. Definitely try to, we don't have every single issue there or situation, but find the one that's the most applicable for you. Okay. Greatly appreciate it. All right, folks. So thank you so much. I'm going to answer two more questions and then okay, cool. Let's see here. Folks, real quick here. We're on TikTok at least. We're looking for team members. If you follow the channel, you have the opportunity. I didn't know this until now. You have the opportunity to click that heart button. I think it's orange-ish. You could join the team. I don't know how it all works right now, but it looks pretty interesting. Okay, that if you want to essentially get more recognized by TikTok, I believe, or even maybe me somehow, please go ahead and join it. Okay, um, it'll be interesting to see how this works for y'all. So yeah, it's right up here. Okay, now let's go back to answer some questions. All right. Okay, Clarky, how long does it usually take after you filed your application for citizenship? On average, at least in Houston, Texas, or Houston, Texas, and Dallas, Texas, on average, from the time you file application for N400 until interview, is average 3 months. Okay, it's great. It's a great thing. I don't know about other states. We don't have enough like data pool to say like, oh, this is like for sure thing in a different city. But for the most part, it's average 3 to 6 months for other cities that we've experienced. Okay, Trung Yen, yours pending for about 2 years, but it's approved yesterday. Okay, it sounds like your I-130 was approved yesterday, but the 485 is still pending. Okay, great question. So, if you have an application that's been pending for a long time or even a short time, your I-130 just got approved like yesterday or today for I-130, and you're wondering why online it says 485 still pending or whatever it says, actively reviewed or interview already scheduled or something. And you're like, why didn't they update at the same time? Because USCIS sucks. This is America is a world superpower and they can't get their shit together. Excuse my French again. I have never seen a time that USCIS has for any client has I-130 and 485 status that's approved or decision mailed on the same day. 485 usually for some odd reason it comes like 1 or 2 days later in the mail. It's ridiculous. I don't know. How do I block someone? Okay. There was someone who had a TikTok channel pretending to be ICE. Um, be careful, folks. Be careful of scams. It's ridiculous. That person just put ICE and removal remove ice and papers. That's ridiculous. We don't got time for that nonsense. All right, let me answer one more question here for y'all. I really appreciate y'all's trust and patience here. But in the meantime, before I hop off, go ahead and give it a follow or subscribe if you're new to the channel, and so you can get notifications of the next times I'm on the show. Let's see. This is a great question. Okay, will USCIS system be better with Trump? Y- Trump had the chance. He had 4 years, and if anything, Trump's administration is going to cut resources. That's all he did in 4 years, cut money. So how can a system hypothetically be better for any government agency? I hate to say it's not like me, but for a lot of companies, they cut resources, meaning money. Okay. Elon Musk, he cut jobs. He laid off a lot of people, part of the supercharging, whatever you call it, supercharger system. That doesn't make sense, right? Because I thought they're supposed to expand the charging platform in many more locations. So you have to think about that. Okay, someone like Trump is going to cut resources, not going to make it better in no way, shape, or form. If you think that, I think you need to rethink things about your politics. Not saying you can't vote for Republican, but that guy, damn fool, 34 counts of guilty. He should have known getting into politics will bring up some stuff from the past, from the grave. Not a good idea, buddy. So if you got that situation going on, watch out on social media. Be careful what you say. Okay, folks. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure. Stay tuned. Sometimes I go live at night randomly. So for A's Zaz 216, would Trump affect the visa bulletin visa times? No, he can't change that. Only Congress, if anything, can change it, which they haven't touched since probably like I think it was JFK Jr. John F. Kennedy. Okay. That's a long time ago. God bless that guy. All right. Y'all have a great one. Appreciate it. Y'all know what to do. Follow and like, share. Y'all have a good day. Study Friday. TGF. Have a great weekend.